Hey Kevin, how you doing today?
Good, Junaid. How's it going with you?
Going pretty good, man. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. How's it going? How's the weather over there?
Think it got a little warmer
And sorry,
now.
where
The
are you
weekend was
from?
very cold.
Where
I'm
are you
in
from?
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay, right.
Yeah,
And did I hear correctly that you have some family in Italy in one of your
no,
podcasts? Oh, okay.
I have family in California,
California. Okay. I guess I heard wrong.
Italy. Huh.
I don't know what show was that. I thought I
Mm,
heard Italy. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
awesome.
No.
All right, so just setting up my notes. Just wanted to tell you ahead of time. This is a safe space. We're gonna have a chill conversation today.
Mhm. I love it.
Awesome.
Chill is when the different stuff comes out.
I know. I've got a set of questions that I've been asking. Like towards the end, I have a set of questions that I ask, which kind of sets people expectation. And sometimes there's a lot of conversation in those questions too, because sometimes it's like, oh, you're into that too. That's awesome, kind of thing.
Hmm. No,
So
absolutely. I like it. Less robotic that way.
yeah. All right, welcome back to another episode of Hacks and Hobbies. In today's episode, we speak with Kevin Kwan. Kevin, thank you so much for joining the episode.
Thank you for having me. Pleased to be here.
Awesome, man. So tell us a version of your journey that no one's heard of before.
So I did have a story, and I had a feeling you were going to ask this question. So I had to kind of really dig deep at what I want to share. So a lot of people that follow me know that I used to own a couple of gyms from 2009 to 2017. They know that I left the gyms, and I actually left the gyms when I reached my threshold where I was just so unaligned. So even though they're doing well, I was just unaligned with this thing that I built. I had a lot of staff and I had partners, and it just this thing that you wanted, where you thought you wanted, and you don't really know that you don't want it until you're in the thick of it. So I literally just walked away, and my wife was 3 months out from giving birth to our first child, and I was the main income earner. So I'm like, I told her that I'm not happy, I'm unaligned, and I'm just emotionally drained. And I just want to go do this online thing where I can do what I'm really good at, copywriting, being creative.
Hmm.
So a lot of people know that story when I left the gyms and with like no payout. And I had 30 days to make my mortgage. And in that 30 days, I did made 6K, and in 3 months I made 10K.
Nice.
All with the system that I'm going to about to talk about in this show. We go that way. But here's what people don't know is the goods. So, what drove me to make that decision and be so brash about it and take fast action like that, even though in a situation that wasn't ideal, is that I started becoming a person I didn't want to be.
Hmm.
And throughout the summer, actually, before I left, because I left in about November, is I started drinking every night.
Ooh.
Would have started with a swig of scotch that turned into two, and every day for 3 months I was drinking until I just woke up one day, came home, like have another step, like this isn't me. Like,
This is
why am I
somebody else.
drinking every night?
Yeah.
So, that was a person that I didn't want to become. And obviously, when you have kids, I know you got, was it a daughter and a son?
Mm-hmm. Two
Yeah.
two
So,
sons and a daughter. Yeah.
two sons and a daughter. Oh man, your hands are full. I only got two, and like, oh man, I don't know if you can do three, man. That's like superpowers right there,
Mm-hmm.
patience and productivity.
Yeah.
But just thinking about like the person that I'm becoming, like I don't want to be like that for my daughter. And you start thinking about your life in different ways, right? Like, and kids are the accelerator.
Yes, they are.
So that's the story that people don't know.
Man, I really love that, and I like how you put it. Right, you said, "Hey, people know this, this, and this, but this is what they don't know," and sometimes we gloss over that because it was something that we wanted to do internally. It was something that we didn't like, and it helped us propel to that direction.
Yeah.
But then we don't. I mean, it's in the back of our minds. We don't actively talk about it because either it's taboo or either it's
Mhm.
it's just different. Like we're constantly comparing ourselves with others, and it never stops. Even after you make 6, 7, 8 figures, you're still gonna compare yourself because that's a human nature.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, part of especially what we teach in our program, and a lot of times I've heard like some philosophical conversations on your podcast,
Yeah.
previous episodes, is that, you know, there's this innate thing that we're going to compare for sure. It's always there. You can't abolish it, right? But I think what separates a lot of people that move them over the edge and just get more success is that they have the ability to accept where they are
Yeah.
and then just focus and have that certainty to focus. Okay, I'm going to do this because that's going to get me to the next stage. Even though there's all this other stuff going on around me, people are winning and all that, but
Yeah.
I'm here. But just acceptance, I think, is a powerful trait.
Yes, that acceptance and being graceful with ourselves, right? Being
Hmm.
compassionate with ourselves because a lot of times we can be it's much easier being compassionate with others than being compassionate with ourselves,
Hmm.
right? So having the grace, having the compassion to ourselves is monumental. And I recently was reached out by my cousin, and she's like, "Hey, I want to start a blog, but I'm
Hmm.
really scared, but I'm still want to do it because I just have this urge to just spill the beans."
Hmm.
I'm like, that's amazing. I encouraged, I uplifted, and that's what entrepreneurs do, right? We, no matter what it is, we we pour in positivity because we
Hmm.
know how hard it is as an entrepreneur.
Yes. And that pull that you just said that she felt pulled to do this, right? And I think, but then, yeah, we got the pull, but then there's all this fear. And then sometimes we just need that little jolt from
Yeah.
somebody or something to kind of light that fire, for your sister it might have just been you.
Hmm.
And just like how you teach people, for example, how to create their own studios, there's this like pull. And I think that's that pull that allows us to continue to be pulled through the fear and continue even when it's hard and not working, we
Yes.
continue to do it because we're pulled, not pushed. I think that's a great point there.
Absolutely. You're right, man. So you mentioned that one of the main reasons that you got into doing this
Hmm.
was you were not feeling happy. You were not the person that you became a person that you didn't want to be or didn't feel like that was your core, and happiness and all those things. What keeps you motivated? And one thing you mentioned was your kids.
Hmm.
What are what I mean, that kind of answers the question, but what else keeps you motivated to keep moving in the direction you're going?
Yeah, that's a good question. Definitely the kids are part of it. And, I believe that you have to lead yourself first before you can lead others, not only with your clients, but also your kids. Like
Hmm.
they do what they see rather than they do what you tell, right? More
Yes.
so. And I wanted to create strong daughters, so I had to be a strong person no matter the fear. There's nothing more fearful than not making mortgage payment in 30
Yeah.
days and like as a nobody online.
Yeah.
So I think so that, that started that, right? That's like short-term energy to get going. But in terms of like longer term energy and doing what you do, even though, like Facebook decides to change its algorithm and all your ads just screw up and you waste $5,000. Um, not like that happened, just wink, wink.
Yeah.
But like what keeps you pulled and or what keeps me motivated and pulled is really the vision that I see for coaches. Like when I was in this industry, there was a lot of great coaches better than me, like way better than me. And you just would look like, why are they struggling?
Yeah.
So smart and they get all these things. Like I would pay for them, like I have paid for other coaches for mentoring, but why? And what I saw was like everybody is teaching these coaches how skills and being smarter and being very academic, but nobody's teaching these coaches to be leaders in their field.
Yeah.
And that obviously came through the birth of what's being pulled, and then the mechanism or the vehicle, what I do is being able to be creative and teach them how to be a leader through and have influential messaging.
No, that's 100% accurate. Being able to direct the folks to be leaders, because number one, who is a leader, right? How do we define a
Mm-hmm,
leader?
mm-hmm,
Are we defining leaders as somebody who is teaching a class, somebody who's standing up there as a speaker in a pulpit?
mm-hmm.
Are those the two examples of leaders that most people are looking at, or is there something more innate in
That's a really
leadership?
good question, a very good distinction in there. And I'll, give it to my opinion based on all the folks that we have coached and mentored.
Yeah.
So, we have this picture of this leader in our head, and we all have these beliefs about what that should be. And a lot of the times in my field, well, when I was in the gym industry, right, like fitness, nutrition, and a lot of people think leaders are just being the smartest out there, like the
Mm,
most academically smart, right? I'm going to outsmart you and get better results with my clients. So, but what really is, and this transfers to all of the coaching industry, which whom we work with, is a leader. Okay, is somebody that is certain in themselves, certain in what they do, and certain that they can help others achieve the same level.
mm.
And through that certainty, certain in themselves, certain in what they do, and certain to helping others achieve that, they can lead themselves through resistance all the time.
Wow. I like the trifecta of certainty, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a
It,
C cubed,
C cubed. I like that.
right?
First lesson C cubed. Yeah. Because, in this industry, no matter what you do, if you're going to have an online business, we don't have that in-person connection anymore,
Right.
right? I'm not in front of you. And that's also why, like, when we go to conferences, like we feel so good after, meeting people. It's just that like just something about that energy. But we don't have that, right? Just you and I talking on Zoom, which is great face to face, but it's just that presence isn't there. So when that presence is gone, then we don't have the body language, the cues, the energy exchange, right? Feeding off each other.
Yeah.
We just have like really it's just ones and zeros going across the country here. So what's left? Well, certainty. Like you have to show up in your messaging, if to your audience, whomever that may be, with
Yeah.
certainty. C cubed. And there's a certain energy when you speak. There's a certain energy in your voice. There's a certain energy in your pitch and your tone and even your mannerisms that create that attraction. And we're like, wow, you know, Junaid is what he talks about. It like really resonates. Like he really believes in this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we start creating the power that attracts people, because power really is about attraction rather than force, which is forcing
Yeah.
10 million pieces of content on you a day.
Forget about it. Oh my God. So good. So good. I love that. Because when you really, there's motivation and there's inspiration. I was listening to Alan
Mm,
Watts, and he talks
ah,
about
nice.
you want to be inspiring somebody so they do it on
Hmm.
their own. They're inspired to do it as opposed to motivate somebody because that's still forcing.
Yeah, that's like preaching, right? Putting
Right.
it on you. And,
Yeah.
I get inspired by people who just get after it, right? They lead by example. So, for example, like does this say doing organic and posting on their feed and all that? And even if they get like, let's say 0 likes, man, they're still going at it consistent
Yes.
every day with their matches. And like, I
Yes.
look, I'm like, wow, this person is just really getting after it. And that catches my attention. Like, what is it? What does this person do?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's a great example of the race between the tortoise and the hare.
Hmm.
Yes, the hare is very fast, but he gets distracted. Do something quickly, distracted. Oh, I can do it. I can do it tomorrow. I could do it later, and I'll still win. But the fact of the matter is, the tortoise keeps putting in the effort,
Hmm.
minute after minute after minute. It's like, hey, I know this is hard, but if I just keep doing this till I get to the finish line, I'm gonna win. And that's what happens, right? The tortoise wins because it was slow and steady. So if you're posting content and you're not getting feedback, you're not getting, don't worry about
Hmm.
it. Just keep posting the content because there will be a time when somebody comes back and looks at your stuff and like, oh my god, this guy's talking about some really good stuff. I need to bring them on my show as a guest, or I need to chat with him, or what is he offering? How can I support them?
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of like full circle,
Mm-hmm.
going back into where you're creating because you're pulled, not because you're pushed. And I'm
Yeah,
sure when you started with this podcast, was you weren't where you are now, like in the
yeah,
first 10 shows, right? And you're a great example of building this show to where it is now, like, consistency because you're pulled by a vision. You're pulled to do this.
yep,
So, for coaches, I think we tend to put our validation too much on the engagement and being validated by that. And then when it doesn't happen, that expectation doesn't get met,
yeah,
we see that as failure. And then we start comparing ourselves rather than, again, full circle back to the pull. What's pulling you to do what you do to show up?
yeah.
And the C cubed. C cubed was
CQ.
branded right here. The
You bet.
certainty in yourself. If you have certainty in yourself, who cares? Who cares if you get likes or not? The people who want to read it will read it. Not all buyers are also engagers.
Mm-hmm.
And the certainty in your process. If you have something innovative, people need to hear it. And the certainty that people can change, right? If you can help them.
Yep. And I think all of that is so good because if you think about it, right? You have the desire, you're putting
Hmm.
the content out, and it's helping you grow.
Hmm.
A seedling out there doesn't care if you're looking at it or not. It's gonna continue to grow, break
Yeah.
through the ground if it has to show, absorb that sunlight. And it's really amazing because um, I tell people weed is the
Hmm.
best example in the nature how
Hmm.
weed grows no matter what. They just looking for the opportunity, right? They're breaking through concrete, they're breaking through asphalt because they found the opportunity and they're taking full advantage of it.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. And they just keep
Right.
at it, no matter how much Roundup you spray there.
That's right. They keep at it. My goodness. Kevin, it's been so much fun chatting with you, man. This has been a very enlightening conversation. Plus, I feel like I've learned a ton that I can take back. Like I can take all of this information back to my own things that I'm working on. It could be on working on my course, working on my consultations, working on my web development, whatnot, like all of this can easily be applied to any aspect in my business or in my life because it's positive. Um,
Yeah, there is principles.
so share some three main points that you help others resolve through your coaching program.
So three main points that we help others resolve. So yeah, good question. So point number one, obviously we turn coaches into leaders so that they can walk with other leaders. Point number two is that we help them build communities. It's through the Facebook group and email list. And then
Mm,
lastly, we help them create influential messaging to attract sophisticated clients.
there you have it, guys. Connect with Kevin, and he can help you become a leader, build a community, and create conversions. Is that right? Did I
Yeah,
mix
you
that
got
last
it,
part?
my friend. You
All right,
got it.
perfect. All right, this is the fun part of the conversation, man. I mean, we've been having really a lot of fun. Going a little deep, talking about the little stories about the hare and the
The
tortoise,
tortoise, yeah.
the
A lot
tortoise,
of
right?
nice analogies, seedlings, weeds.
Oh
We
my
got it all
God,
in there. Metaphors,
I
raining
love the
metaphors in this
metaphors.
podcast, guys.
Yes, yes, I love them. And I'll have some really quick shot questions to get to know a little more about Kevin. So, number one, what is the one hobby that you wish you got into?
Okay, so the one that I wish I got into was playing the piano
Mm,
because I wanted to, like, just with all the brain science and all that, works a different part of the brain and hand-eye coordination and all that.
yeah,
So that, and because I'm a creative person, just making music is just a different part of that. So it's real cool. I want to, wish I took it up.
nice, nice, nice. I love it. Um, what did you want to be when you were a child?
Yeah, I was thinking about this one, and there's actually two things, but I'm going to take this other one because I think it's actually kind of funny too. Well, some people have a laugh on it. So I know you like superheroes. So
Mm-hmm.
in grade five, I was thinking about this, and in grade five, I was picked on a lot as a kid, and by like the grade sixers, and same with a few of my other friends, they were picked on. So I see these kids, and we get picked on, bullied, or whatever. So I decided to make a superhero club,
Ooh, I
and
like
we would
that.
be, it was like a group of five of us. Just think about it, so stupid. So it was a group of five of us, and I gave him like superhero cards. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, this is your card. And I forgot what I called the club, but I would assign patrol dates where,
Ooh,
okay, and I would give him a stick. I'm like, this is the stick that you carry, and we're gonna patrol at 4 o'clock, and you're gonna be on this day, and you're gonna be this day, and I'm gonna be on this day. That was
that's
so I
that's
wanted to
really
be a
cool.
superhero.
Yeah. No, I really like that because I remember that we had something similar we called, and it wasn't until till 2019 when I went and met my friend from 25 years ago who I went to college with or high school with, and he was like, "Remember, we used to walk around the neighborhood and we call ourselves stray shadows." And it was really interesting. Like I'm still trying to remember what we were doing, but around that time I had like enrolled and done some Jeet Kune Do or
Mhm.
kickboxing. Um, so that was really interesting. Like we did something like that, similar to
That's
what you did.
funny.
Yeah. All right. Next question: what is your favorite movie or TV show?
I would have to say Gladiator. I'm all about the whole duty, honor kind of thing and fighting for your honor.
Oh man, that movie was amazing.
Yeah, I've seen that movie about 7 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm around the same number because he Russell Crowe
Mhm.
was just did an amazing job.
Yes, and yeah, in that role, he did a really good job.
He did really well. Awesome. Next one. What movie would you choose if you got to play a character in it?
Uh, Hands down, Tony Stark.
Oh,
Because he's
the
a
Tony
rich
Stark.
dude, but his behaviors I really like. So I like, how, you probably watch like all the Marvel phases, but in the
Yeah,
Avengers, I just love how he cuts the tension and he just makes like serious situations, he just throws in a joke
yeah,
of some sort.
yeah.
And I'm like, wow, well, he's so certain that he knows he's going to solve that problem. So he doesn't really
Hmm.
care. He's going to be himself.
That's right. That's right. He and then the entire growth journey of Tony Stark himself during the entire four phases was really amazing to watch too.
Watching him grow
Watching him
as a character.
grow,
Yeah. Hmm.
his character grow, and that's the accurate picture of how human beings are. We're constantly growing. We're not stuck in one. Oh no, this guy always does the same thing. No, we're not. We're not stuck in time. So that was really awesome. So next question is right up that alley. Who is your favorite superhero?
I'm going to go and flip the script from Marvel to DC now. As a superhero, um, I always like the innovative ones that don't aren't born with powers. So I would say Batman,
Hmm.
because one, aside from being really rich, he has to be innovative. He's coming up with all these gadgets. Plus, he
Yeah.
has to like keep up his physique to be top performing because he is not gifted with powers like Superman,
Right.
as he uses
Right.
smarts.
No, you're absolutely right. And Iron Man is in that same boat. If you think about it, he's physical, like he's not strong physically like
Hmm.
Batman is, but he's also doesn't have any superpowers without his suit. It was
Yes.
really good to see that aspect in all the movies. All right, last question, and it's a fun one. It's not listed in the email in the form.
Ah, a throw me off question. All right, let's bring
If
it.
you were a board game, what would it be?
A board game. Oh yeah. So, hold on. Let me think about this now. Okay, now I have to get really a little geeky here. Do you ever play Dungeons and Dragons?
I have not. I've
Okay,
seen it played many times, but
so it's not Dungeons and Dragons because I've never played it, but I played a flavor of it called Lords of Waterdeep.
ooh, Lords of Water.
And yeah, because I heard it was like an upgrade to Catan at the
Uh
time,
huh.
but here's why I would be that. Um, it's because in that game, there's multiple ways to win.
Hmm.
So even though you're at a disadvantage, you have to creatively think how else you could win.
Oh,
And I guess
interesting.
it's kind of like chess, but there's all this
Okay.
medieval stuff and
Yeah,
characters and
yeah.
all that. So as a board game, I'm gonna make you think and
Nice.
throw wrenches in your life.
No, I really like that. That's really cool. I'll have to check out that game. It's
It's definitely less complex than those other
because
games.
Catan is a lot less complex too. It's really simple. You just
Yeah,
gotta set the board up.
yeah,
And
exactly.
I got like two Catan sets, some extra sets as well. So we can do like a 10 player
Oh, you got
Catan
the
board. If,
expansion packs.
yeah, expansion
Yeah,
packs and whatnot. It's
yeah.
pretty fun.
A friend told us this was the upgrade because of it's not based on chance, it's like based on now strategy
Oh, even
and
better.
how you can also mess up another person too.
Oh my god. Kind of like building a road right in the
Mhm.
middle of their road. Like, sorry,
Yeah,
you can't continue your
yeah,
road. Okay.
exactly. And there's multiple ways in that other game.
Nice, nice. Well, appreciate it, Kevin, for your time. Where can my audience find you?
I'm most active actually in my Facebook group, giving trainings, to coaches, whether it be on leadership or messaging. You can find me at the Facebook group Clients Through Connection for Coaches.
I love it. Thank you so much, Kevin. We'll be sure to include the links to the group in and your website if you have one for people looking to join your consultation in the show notes, and we'll let you know when the
Cool.
show drop. What am I saying? So we'll include the links to the group and your site in the show notes. And thank you so much for coming on again.
Thank you.
All right. Did I stop recording?
No, not yet.